for today, in case you think I look a bit weird and my eyes don't really match, you were right. Welcome back to my place first of all, and for today's video we will be doing one palette, two looks, and that is using the Natasha Denona mini sunset palette, which is this one. I've chosen to do this using the Natasha Denona palette because I have done some research, and the brand is cruelty free, so they do not test on animals, which is something that I'm ever more interested in, and it's an aspect that I like to pay increasing attention to, just because I really love animals. So that is one of the reasons that I've chosen the Natasha Denona palette. The other one is the fact that I did makeup on a friend yesterday for a wedding. She's absolutely gorgeous. She's like supermodel level, beautiful, stunner. So of course she was looking absolutely beautiful, and the look also turned out great, so that's why I felt very inspired, and I realized that I actually only used almost exclusively the Natasha Denona mini sunset palette to create her look. I also used the other Natasha Denona palette that I have, which is the mini nude palette, but either one of these can be used on its own to create several looks. So that's what I wanted to show you today, and that is why I decided to do two separate looks using the same palette and using all the shades in the palette. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and to give the video a thumbs up if you like it, and also hit the notification button so that you don't miss out on my new videos that I will be uploading. And yeah, let's just get into the video and let's see how we can create the looks. Right, so let's get started. This is my face. My base is already done, just as usual, just like I showed you in my last video. The first eye will be sort of a halo eye. This was actually posted by Natasha Denona herself. I think it was on her Instagram. What we will start with is the red shade, this one over here. This one is called Apollo. And I will be using my Winky Lux. No, I don't have a mirror in the Winky Lux palette. Let me see if I have one in my Dior. Yeah, I do. I have a mirror in my Dior bronzer, and this is the mirror we will be using. So I'm taking the Apollo shade and then placing it on the outside corner like this, using I don't remember what this type of brush is called. It's basically just a flat brush for packing on shadow. And this is the way that Natasha placed the shadow in her video on her model. But basically just, you know, doing a halo eye, which a halo eye means actually placing the deeper color both on the outer corner of the eye as well as on the inner corner. So that is what we will be doing. I'm trying to place the color really, I don't know how to explain this, really in one stroke and really in one swift motion, so that the shimmer in it also stays quite vibrant, just because it's very lovely. The shimmery shades, so the more metallic shades in the Natasha Denona palettes are very nice, and their metallic quality is quite unique, so that's why I'm trying to keep it. Take my MAC 224S blending brush and just blend out the edges ever so slightly, and then I will take a MAC 217. This is my favorite brush ever for any type of look, and I will do as Natasha did, and I will take the shade Halo, which is this one over here, and place it right between the two applications of the Apollo shade. So right over here, just above the crease, sort of drawing like a bridge between the two spots of color that we have at the moment. So like that, just like that. With a halo eye, just always remember to keep the basically the center of the lid clean. Sort of create a space over there so that we can place the most luminous shade, so the point of maximum luminosity on the middle of the eyelid. So that's basically the definition of the halo eye. And now I will go over with my blending brush, the MAC blending brush, over all the edges, just to marry everything together. I will pack on a bit more of the red shade, of the Apollo shade, just because I feel like it's lost a bit of its quality, not quality, I mean a bit of its shimmer and intensity during all the blending. I will do that again, placing it on the outer corner and then also on the inner corner, like that. And then what Natasha did was using oh no, she used her finger. Sorry, I was prepared with a brush, but she actually used her finger to place this shade, like the golden, intense golden shade over here. This one is called Sunbeam, and she took it on her finger like this, and she placed it on the area that is left blank so far, so on the middle, on the exact middle of the eyelid, so the central part, like that. So I'm doing the same. I need a bit more of that shade. I will be adding it to the eyelid. What I would be inclined to do is use like the lightest shade in the palette to do this, but since this is the way that she used it, I mean, I feel like this is a more surprising effect and a more innovative way to use the shadow, so that's why I wanted to recreate like her idea of doing things. Now I will take a bit of, I mean what's left on the brush from that Apollo shade, and just blend a bit more over the line where the two colors meet. What I also like to do is to also sort of create like a smaller base for the color, and then like a wider top when I do a halo eye. Okay, I do have a bit of fallout on my face. I've just noticed it. I will try to sweep it off using this fan brush. So next we will be using the lightest shade in the palette, which is this one here. It's also very nice. I will do a bit of a swatch for you. Looks like that. You can also see it on my finger. It's very pretty. And this is the shade that she used for the inner corner highlight. So I will be doing that as well. And she placed it here like this. And she took it a bit lower, just like that. It's beautiful, beautiful shade. It's very creamy. and it blends like a dream. So absolutely fantastic, I love it. And next, what she did was she used the darkest shade in the palette, which is this matte over here in the middle, which is called Dirty Mars, and she placed it on the lower lash line of the model. What I will try to do, what I think works best for my eye shape and for the way I like to wear my makeup, is just placing the shade on the outer half of the lower lash line. I just feel like this is the best look for me. I don't like taking the shadows all the way to the inner corner, just because I think it closes up the eye and actually makes you look like you have smaller eyes, and it's not necessarily very flattering on my eye shape. There are some looks that actually look fantastic with a full-on smoked out lower lash line, but I don't think that suits me. Blend it out just a tiny bit more in the outer corner like that to smoke it upwards. I will also put on a bit of mascara. I'll also be putting on a bit of mascara on this eye, just so that you can see what it looks like completely done. And I'm still thinking about whether or not I will be using lashes today. I actually prefer the way it looks without lashes. I think it looks more like high fashion, and with my brows not being so very drawn on and very strong, I actually prefer it this way. So that's what one of the looks turns out, and that's what it looks like when I also have mascara on. I'm back for the second look that we're doing today, and after thinking about it for quite a long time, we will be also doing a halo eye on the other eye, just different placement of color. We will also be doing the 5 shades, all of them. This is a look inspired by, actually I followed a tutorial by a girl I found on YouTube. Her name is, I think it's Dree V. I'm really sorry if that's not the right pronunciation. I will link her video down below so that you can go check it out, and I really hope I can recreate the way she used the palette, because I really love the way her look turned out. I will be using Fresh 217, MAC 217. As I said, this is my favorite brush, and I have bought 3 of them so far, and I think they're very useful. They're useful that you can use them for packing on shadow. You can also use them for blending out. I mean, they're very useful, and I've had some of them for over 3 years now, and as long as I, keep them regularly cleaned, I wash my brushes regularly, they do keep up really well. So what this tutorial says we should start with is placing the shade, the lighter matte shade, which is the shade... I'm sorry guys, I have such a hard time with reading these shades off the back of the packaging, so it's really not that difficult because they're placed behind the color, so to say. So we will be using the shade Halo to start with, and just, starting out with carving out the outer crease and taking the shade all the way towards the inside corner, just making sure to very lightly touch the middle part, and then place the color more concentrated on the outer and inner corner. Love this shade. I think it's especially for a matte shade, it's so smooth and it just blends out like a dream. So so far I'm working so easily and nicely with it. So the next step that she does, and I will be using another 217 for this, is she takes the darkest brownish shade, which is the shade Dirty Mars. It's this one in the middle, and she placed it a bit lower than the halo shade that we used at first. So this is what I will do as well. I think this is actually the trickiest part, where you have to place this shadow very precisely. Trying to place it lower and more to the inside of the eye. Remember to also leave the free space in the middle of the lid, so that we have where to put the luminosity, the luminous shade. Okay, I will be using more of a slim brush. I don't have a pencil brush that I'm satisfied with. I will be using one of these, like it's a flat brush, to place the Dirty Mars shade over the halo, so right over here at the higher point of the crease. And of course with a packing on brush, of course it's easy, it's harder to blend the shadow out over the crease like that. And we are basically carving out the halo. So that's why it's called a halo eye, because it creates like a darker halo around the more luminous shades. What she did next was using a flat brush, a brush for packing. I just wiped this a little bit. She placed the Sunbeam shade, which is that golden shade right over here, like the strong golden shade. She placed it sort of on the center of the lid, but on the outside parts of the center, so right over here like this. And then right over here like this. Right, so this is what the shade looks like now. And then I will be going in with the lightest shade in the palette, which is also a metallic shade, and it's the shade Guava over here. This is that champagne color that's very luminous and gorgeous. And I'm placing this right between the two sort of stripes of the sunbeam. I don't know if it shows up on camera, but I really love this look. I think it makes the eyelid look almost glossy and very luminous, very metallic, very even sophisticated, I think. I will need a bit more of the darker shade just to emphasize a bit the more the darker corners of the look. And then what she did, and I'm very scared to do this, is she used the red shade, so this one over here, the Apollo shade. She used it all over the lower lash line. So wish me luck with this one, guys. I will be using the first brush that I used for the other eye that I already have dipped into the what is it called? It's Apollo, in the Apollo shade, and I will be placing the color all over my lower lash line. This is a very, very beautiful shade. I hope I don't veer into Pink Eye City over here with the look. I'm just placing it on very gently, like that, and smoking it out on the lower lash line. And I know it's not looking the best right now, but I will be putting on mascara, and trust me, mascara just makes everything better. Right, guys, so these are the finished looks. These are the two looks that we have just done together. So it's this halo eye, and then there's this, also a halo eye. But as you have seen, this palette is very versatile. It can be used to create many looks. There's not only these two, I also have another one in mind that I want to recreate using it, and I will be doing that soon. I hope you like the looks and the way they turned out. I hope you try to recreate them. Hit me up with comments down below and let me know which of the looks you liked best, and if you like the palette, and if you think it's a good idea that I do a giveaway with this palette, because I have my birthday coming up soon, and I would love to you know, do a giveaway and use a cruelty-free product for it, and this is something that I would love. So let me know if you think that's a good idea, and if you would like to you know, take part in the giveaway so that you have the chance to win it. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you for taking the time to come hang out with me and talk about makeup with me, and I will see you soon in my next video.